Hello, welcome to NAIFA, New Mexico, January 7th, 2025.
Woo!
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Woo!
That's right. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Ed.
Yeah, thanks for joining us for the first podcast of 2025.
Yeah, I missed the first podcast in 2024, but not the one in 2025. So I hit the button again.
All right. Yeah. That's right. But, there's a lot of things going on in 2025. So a lot of things going on with NAIFA. There's a lot of things going on in the country. And so we're glad that you're here to join us. We're going to talk about some great things today. We're going to talk about the Tax Cuts and Job Act. Many of you probably know, and if you don't know, let me introduce you the knowledge that the
TCJA,
the 2017 legislation, actually one of Trump's crowning moments that he is very proud of.
Me too, because that next year I saved a lot of money.
Well, many business owners did.
Yes,
many business owners did. It was a very good thing for the business owners, and a lot of people believe that it really.
And when we save money, we can hire more people, which helps the economy.
That's right.
And it helps family. Because in our last podcast, we talked about we're not Wall Street, we're Main Street.
That's right.
So when we're making more money and saving money on taxes, Main Street gets jobs.
And that's the idea, right? And there was a lot of provisions in the Tax Cuts and Job Act. And in case you didn't know, many parts of that legislation are going to expire at the end of 2025.
Oh, yeah.
And what we always know is true is when a big tax law like this expires, they're going to rewrite it, Greg.
Oh, they have to.
They have to.
And hopefully they rewrite it better. There's so many provisions before that we went to war in the 1770s over 2% tax on tea. And now we're infinitely higher on how much tax we pay in the United States. And we all just seem to accept it. So hopefully we can raise some awareness about how when people have more money in their pocket, they spend more money, which does stimulate the economy. It's just proven. I grew up, with Keynesian economics, and I never did even believe it back then. And I was even dumber then than I am now. So I have some sort of knowledge on it now, but you cannot tax yourself. You cannot tax an economy into prosperity. It's never worked in the history of the world. It won't work now.
Well, and I think that the public said that, right, in the recent election, regardless of which side that you voted for. I think that the general consensus was, hey, we need to do something. We need to make some changes. And whether those changes are tax related or they're inflation related, but there were some changes that need to be made. And I think the voters came out.
And how are we going to do that when the cost of everything is through the roof? We're insurance guys. The cost of our insurance is through the roof.
That's right.
I mean, people think, which is interesting, and I get it, that because we work for the company, we get a special rate. I get no special rate. You get a special rate?
I don't get a special rate. I don't get a special rate. I wish I did.
No. My rates go up like everyone else's. So how, with everything going up and now you got to pay more tax, how are families going to be able to feed their children
and
pay their rent, pay their mortgage? How's that going to happen?
That's right.
It concerns me. It really does.
And it kind of brings us to where we are today,
yes.
Which is where we are today is to talk about the fact that the Tax Cuts and Job Act is expiring in 2025. We know they're going to rewrite the legislation. And here's what we want. We want NAIFA to be there in Washington, D.C. We want NAIFA to be there in their communities. We want NAIFA to be there to stand up and say, here's what we need for the people we help you with, or the people that we, or our clients and our customers, people we're talking to every day. We want to be a Main Street's voice,
right,
in Wall Street.
And not only did the individual tax rate go down, but the deduction rate went up so high that the vast majority of people do not have enough write-offs because the deduction's so high. You don't get, I believe it's $29,000 for a family, for a married couple.
24-ish, 29, something like that.
It's a lot higher than it was before.
And
in a married couple with kids, even with children, can't seem to get write-offs up to $24,000. So it's benefited a lot of people.
Well, and the benefit is really because our taxes are a lot easier to do. And anyone that does your own taxes, you probably know that. And even if you have a professional, you're probably saving a little bit of change there because it's a little easier to do.
15%. Our corporate tax rate went down 15%.
So yeah, there's a lot of things that are actually expiring. As a matter of fact, Greg, tell us a little bit about the Tax Jobs and Cut Act and some of the things that are really, have implications for our clients. Can you talk to us about those for a few minutes?
Well, we just talked about individual tax rates went down.
Right.
The deductions went up,
Yep.
so that you get to write off more. The corporate tax rate went down from 35%. I'm cheating. I've got to read it. So
We're cheating. It's okay. We got notes.
I'm sorry, but I'm not versed in wanting to read a 700 plus page bill and understand what it says. So I'm just taking the clip notes. So the corporate tax rate went down from 35% to 21%, which means that it fosters business growth and investment.
It does.
Look at what's happened to the stock market because people have more money to invest. And when they have more money to invest, what do? They open more businesses. You have 2 offices. Now you're at what, 13 to 15 employees?
Yeah.
Where before you were at 6 to 8. So you've almost doubled your amount of employees. Why? Because you're paying less taxes. You've done a great job to where they said, if you want a second office, you're our guy. And you've been able to do it because you have the money to do it. If this goes away, they're going to put guys like you in a position to go, I don't know what to do. And I have a huge book of business. I'm helping so many people. And your ideology and mine is to help people.
That's right.
When they call up, we don't just kind of blow them off and say, oh, we'll call them later. No, we want to help you solve your problem as best as we can. If we can't, there's always some sort of solution that we can do for us. And every insurance guy, we can recommend if they don't have the little device to monitor your driving. I just had, I'm not supposed to say this, State Farm, but I haven't been a fan of your app. Haven't been a fan of your driving thing until 2024. I had over 50 people that got discounts, and one at the very end of the year got a $395 discount coming up for the next 6 months because they said, I just did what the app said and started driving better. That's $395 they saved.
There's this is not a State Farm ad, so let me just clarify that. No. But there is a statistical proof that shows that people that have some type of a telematics, whether that is State Farm's version or Progressives or Geico's, whatever, there is a statistical number that I want to say it's 27% reduction in rate or accidents just by having that telematics device. And you know why? Because people know when they're getting tracked, all of a sudden, the back of their head, maybe they just strapped.
And now that we're on it, remember, if you have that device, they're very needy and they want you to look at them so that they can give you some suggestions. The more you look at the app 2, 3, 4 times a week, the more discounts you get. I don't know. Right. I'm not the software guy. I didn't design it, but I know it works that way.
I didn't either, but I can tell you I have it on all of my cars. So the corporate tax rate reduction occurred 35 to 21%. And hey, guess what? That expires December 31st of this year.
Yep. And the estate tax. So all of a sudden you pay tax on everything, and then you have an estate. Now your estate has to pay tax again on top of the taxes that they pay.
Yeah. This whatever money is left after you've built up this estate, you've already paid taxes throughout your life. Then your family gets paid taxes posthumously. But that's the estate.
And they raised the exemption from almost doubled it to 11.58 million.
Or more than double, right? It was just over like 4.5%, I think, before this, and now it's at 11.58 million.
Mm-hmm.
And
which covers a lot of us. We don't pay, most of us don't have to make that kind of money, have estates like that.
Right. And if you do have more than 11.58, okay. Well, look, if I'm going to get taxed on it,
you're going to have a whole accounting firm that's going to help.
That's right. You're going to have
you got that kind of money.
You got strategies. Okay, there are strategies available for you. Let's talk. There are ways that we can help there. But those strategies change at the end of this year because that also expires right at the end of 2025. And we go from that 11.58 million a current exemption down to what, 4.5 million again, or something around in that range. So these are things that affect everyday Americans. And I want you to think about the general majority of Americans. Let's say that somebody's got $7 million. They don't have that in the bank. That's in their business. That's in equity. That's in the assets they own, which most commonly that's a business. And what happens if all of a sudden this goes away? Now you've got to do a fire sale, right? Instead of being able to sell off your business or do it slowly over time to be able to pay off your tax obligations, you almost have to do a fire sale, sell it right now, right away, get rid of that small business just to pay the tax limit. And so this is something that we'd like to see extended.
And not only did it save businesses, but this also saved I mean, who's more important in our economy than our farmers and ranchers?
That's right. And guess who is affected a lot? The farmers and ranchers.
Right. And if that goes away, they're really going to be in a pickle again.
And so there's a lot of different provisions of the Tax Jobs and Cut Act. And literally, we could have a 48-minute conversation about this law. It's 700 pages, right? And look, I don't have time to read it all. Greg doesn't have time to read it all. You don't have time to read it all. But you know what we do have?
I'm not going to read it all.
You know what we have, Greg? We have a resource.
Yep.
We have a resource, NAIFA.org. Go to NAIFA.org. And in NAIFA.org, you're going to go to the advocacy section. In our advocacy and action blog, what you'll see is actually a great tax talk done by our NAIFA people that goes through.
And they are good. And it's
fantastic.
Yeah, it's everybody you can think of. NAIFA, just to clarify real quick, Ed, is because we're both State Farm guys. It's not State Farm. It is 136-year-old,
130-something-year-old,
35, 36-year-old organization that has fought for the financial services and insurance industry for that long.
That's right.
I mean, there's thousands and thousands of companies out there that are doing business in this space. Life insurance, health insurance,
That's right.
Property and casualty, business insurance. And without NAIFA, with laws like this would never be passed. And most of us couldn't stay in business with such big corporations. And who do big corporations care about?
Big corporations.
Big corporations.
That's right.
That's why we're 1099 employees, and most insurance guys own their book of business, and they care about Main Street, because without Main Street, we don't stay in business.
We don't stay in business. And oh, by the way, I'm going to put the plug in. Hey, we're on this. We're talking about NAIFA.org. We're talking about advocacy. You know, Greg, you know what's in that top right-hand corner? What's in that top right-hand corner? Join or renew.
Yep.
We're asking you, join or renew. We need your fight right now this year. We need you in the markets that you're in the cities you're in the state that you're in New Mexico, in Farmington, in Rio Rancho, in Albuquerque, in Las Cruces. Doesn't matter where you're at.
In Roswell.
In Roswell. That's right. Wherever you're at, we invite you to come and join NAIFA, be a part of it, and come with us, right? We're going to Washington, D.C. in May, and we're going to go
to Santa Fe this month.
February 25th.
Yeah.
We're going to Santa Fe.
Yeah.
We're going to Washington, D.C. in May, and we need you to come join us and be a part of NAIFA as we help shape what the new Tax Cuts and Job Acts look like, the one that starts in 2026.
And we have 5,000 professionals in the state of New Mexico. 5,000. And most of you guys do a fantastic, tremendous job. Most of you, do a really, really, really good job. You know how many members we have in NAIFA?
Tell me, Craig. Tell me.
135.
Wow.
Out of 5,000.
Out of 5,000. So there's some room for growth. There's some room.
So
yeah.
Unfortunately, a lot of people want to say, well, why didn't somebody do something about that? Well, that's what I'm asking you. Why don't you do something about that and join NAIFA? It's not expensive, but it is extremely, extremely important. NAIFA is the same as if you were a doctor, you'd be part of the AMA, American Medical Association. If you were a lawyer, you'd be part of the Bar Association, because they're up lobbying every state legislator and in Washington all the time. They pay professional lobbyists.
Right.
We have professional lobbyists that we pay that are up in Washington fighting for us all the time. So come join the fight. It's a lot of fun. You meet great people from every aspect of our industry. And guess what? Now you have referrals. If you can't do something, you're like, I know a guy who'll take good care of you. I know a girl who'll really take good care of you. And now you've got a great referral from somebody who's part of our organization.
And we invite you to come and check us out. Look, we do this blog every Tuesday. Every Tuesday we do this podcast, right? Go to NAIFA.org. You can see the website right here in front of you. Go to NAIFA.org. Check out some of the different pieces, some of the things that we do, from advocacy, right, to education, to talking about membership. We'll even give you information about NAIFA. If you want more information on specific NAIFA New Mexico, go to NAIFANewMexico.com and find out more information.
NAIFA now, if I remember correctly, in 2024, life happens. The life insurance is now part of NAIFA,
and so is FSP, the Financial Services
Professionals.
So
are all a part of NAIFA. Why? Because NAIFA has been around long enough to where when we show up, the legislators know who we are.
That's right.
And they listen to us. We have been very influential. Ed has gone over, 4 or 5 years ago, where they were wanting a retirement fund in the state of New Mexico.
SAVES Act.
Yep, the SAVES Act. And guess what? It never really got off the ground because they didn't take NAIFA's recommendations. They took one of our other other organizations.
We won't name the person.
It wasn't NAIFA, but it was a company that they went to instead of coming to us. Well, we have an organization that has representation from all kind of different places.
That's right.
You know, New York Life and State Farm and Allstate and Independence and all kind of representation that we could have got together and helped them out, but they chose to go another way. And where's the SAFE Act? They still don't have it funded.
Still don't have it funded. And you know, look, maybe it gets funded someday, and if it does, we will be there to help make that go through and make it successful. We just we have done some reach out efforts there to make sure that happens. But hey, we're going to end this with a final call to action.
Yes.
Come and be a part of NAIFA. Join us on our quest to make the Tax Cuts and Job Act, whatever it's rewritten as, whatever it's called in 2026, right?
Yeah.
Come with us on this journey. Help us make it the best possible experience for not only us, but for our customers, for you, our other NAIFA members. And then for anyone that's not a NAIFA member, you're getting to take advantage of the fact that we're going to go up and fight for you. So we're asking you to come and stand beside us and fight with us. So, Greg, any parting words before we say let's have a great 2025?
Well, I shouldn't say this, but
then don't. Yeah, canned laughter.
Well, you know, I always say we only do what we want to, but we need you. We need you in NAIFA. We need your help. We need your input. And remember, I said it last time, I'm going to say it every week. We are not a lead generating organization. We are an advocacy for the financial services and insurance industry. We don't generate leads except if you build relationships. That's the beautiful thing about this. You're building relationships with other professionals in your industry, and they'll start sending you referrals that they can't do it. But we want you, yes, but we need you. There's 5,000 of you. We need you. My goal is to get to 10%, 500. If we had 500 people in NAIFA in New Mexico, we'd be a powerhouse.
I mean, we're already a powerhouse. Imagine how much more power we'll have when we get there.
Oh yeah,
we're going to get there.
It's nice to walk in Washington D.C. or here, and they know who we are.
That's right.
It's awesome.
Thank you guys for joining us for our first podcast of 2025.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. We look forward to doing this many more. You saw the website. You saw how to join. You saw how to be a part of NAIFA. We invite you to come on this journey with us.
Come and join us and have a great time and be a part of your profession's. I can say that word, advocacy.
There you go.
Yep.
Blessings to you all. Thank you for watching.